And thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it today. Today I wanted to talk to you about an article that came out a few days ago. I saw it, but just didn't do anything with it until today. So I wanted to share with you some news, and the headline here is Nominee for VA Deputy Advances in Senate but Faces Bumpy Road Ahead. So whatever, it's a bumpy road, right? It's always a bumpy road. The bottom line is that there is a nominee for the VA Deputy slot. So what's that look like, right? So the VA deputy, that's going to be basically the right hand of the secretary. So a very important position, as anyone in any leadership position in life knows that your right hand person is extremely important. Who that person is, and can really help to shape an organization and so forth. So at least when I think about it, in the positions that I've held it's not that big, but director level positions, what I always view is my role is essentially an 80% outward facing. There's some political aspects to it and so forth, and a lot of outward facing pieces to it. Then my right hand, whatever you want to call it in whatever capacity it is, whether it's an assistant, director or what have you, or deputy director or whatever it is, right? Your right hand person is the 80% inward facing. So your 20% relays out overall message, but your deputy is the one that's hammering it home and making sure that things happen. Of course, as any good leader, you're going to inspect what you expect. But a lot of the driving is that second in command. So with that, let's jump into it, because I think it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how it unfolds and what's going on. So hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel immensely. And if you're not a member, consider it. There's 3 different levels. It really, the bottom line is that it helps the channel, and I really appreciate that. 2 is that it gives you a little marquee next to your name, so that way when you're leaving comments, 2 things happen. 1, it's a little more noticeable because you have the marquee next to your name, and 2, it helps me to see it, and I can also be able to show a little love where I can. So I really appreciate you guys. Let's jump into it again. The headline again for one more time, since it's already been 2.5 minutes. Geez, sorry. Nominee for VA Deputy advances in Senate but faces bumpy road ahead. I will try to read fast for those that have been watching me for a while. I have my good days and I have my bad days. I'm rated for it, though, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So let's jump into it again. All right, the nominee to be the next number 2 official at the Department of Veterans Affairs has been advanced by the Senate panel, but could face a bumpy road to final confirmation. The Senate Veterans Affairs Committee on Thursday voted 13-6 to advance Tanya Bradshaw, who is nominated by President Joe Biden to be the next Deputy VA Secretary. If confirmed, Bradshaw, I'm guessing that's how you say her name, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel who currently serves as VA Chief of Staff, would be the first woman to permanently hold the post. Clicking on story continues. All right. But Senator Chuck Grassley has signaled he could throw up roadblocks that slow the full Senate approval for Bradshaw over concerns that an IT system under her purview is not properly protecting whistleblowers' identities. Senator Grassley remains deeply concerned that Tanya Bradshaw's mishandling of veterans' private sensitive information, including whistleblowers' information, make her ineligible for this role. His office said in a statement to military.com, Senator Grassley plans to continue working to shed light on Ms. Bradshaw's shortcomings. Grassley's office has not explicitly said he plans to place what's known as a hold on Bradshaw, but he previously used that procedural tactic to stall the confirmation of the VA's Undersecretary for Benefits over concerns about whistleblower protections. A hold does not prevent a nominee from being confirmed, but means the confirmation could take considerably longer, since the Senate would have to find time time for floor votes. Bradsher is a Bronze Star recipient who served in Iraq from 2008 to 2009. Since retiring from the military in 2013, she had also built up a lengthy resume in government, including stints in the National Security Council, the Office of Representative Don Beyer, Democrat, Virginia, the Defense Health Agency, and White House Office of Public Engagement. In May, she breezed through her confirmation hearing where she vowed to make outreach to female veterans a priority. I have met so many women who don't recognize their own service, who minimize their time, she said. Veterans Affairs Committee members have heaped praise on her. Tanya Bradsher's background in both military and civilian service demonstrates that she is well qualified to serve as VA's second-in-command, and if confirmed, I look forward to holding her accountable in delivering for our nation's veterans and their families, Committee Chair John Tester said in a statement Thursday after the committee advanced her. Grassley's opposition to her centers on an issue that was not raised at her hearing. An internal messaging system at the VA known as the Veterans Affairs Integrated and Enterprise Workflow Solutions, or VIEWS. Last year, a whistleblower alleged the VA was failing to protect personal information, including Social Security numbers and medical records of whistleblowers, veterans, and employees, because the information was available to anyone with access to VIEWS. After the whistleblower complaint, a government watchdog directed the VA to conduct its own investigation into the allegations, giving the department a 60-day deadline. However, you should be aware that these investigations usually take longer, and agencies frequently request to receive extensions of the due date. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel added in an August 2022 letter to the whistleblower obtained by military.com. In a letter to VA Secretary last month, Grassley complained the investigation was still incomplete. VA and Ms. Bradsher must immediately explain their failure to protect this information for so long. Even after being notified of these potential violations, a federal data privacy law, he wrote, data privacy laws, he wrote. VA must also explain its delays in investigating the matter, while this sensitive information apparently remains available to those who should not have access to it. In a letter responding to Grassley earlier this month, the VA said it expects its Office of Information and Technology to complete the investigation by August 1st, and said that since last year's whistleblower complaint, the department has improved training and implemented security enhancements, limiting access to further strengthen protections of sensitive information and views. Bradsher also told senators in writing in a written answer that she takes the privacy of the veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors that we serve extremely seriously and will continue to do everything in my power to protect it. Grassley's office, though, said he found the response dissatisfactory. So, that concludes that. Look, here's my thing. I don't know much about Bradsher. Tanya Bradsher. Don't know much about her. Might do a little digging, look into things, make a determination on if you think that that's somebody who's appropriate or not. Reach out to your congressional representatives. Let them know your thoughts, right? So this is just some information that I'm sharing with you from military.com on their article regarding this nominee for VA deputy. So whether you're for her or against her, you might want to voice it, right? It's just important. Be part of the process and not just complain about it. It's kind of the way I look at it. So even if you feel like it doesn't go anywhere, at least it's one more kind of voice, right? If it's one of us, it's one of us. But if it's thousands of us saying something, it gets, the vibrato lifts, right? So with that, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm just here to help kind of shed the light on things that are going on, all things veteran. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.